Here it comes again. Lunch. Will it be the same old, same old? Or are you ready to take a vacation from the ordinary with the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub at Firehouse Subs? Freshly sliced smoked turkey breast, craveably sweet mustard sauce, and a hint of Caribbean seasoning. Just $5.55 for a medium. Save time. Order the new Jamaican Jerk Turkey Sub on the Firehouse Subs app. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives. Participating locations. Limited time only, plus tax. Prices may vary for delivery.
Here at ACO Radio, American Communications Online, or any affiliated stations or websites are not responsible for what guest hosts or call-ins may say. All programming is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
You ready to do the show? Okay, hold on just a minute. I'll have to call you back. Hello, world. This is TJ Morris, and we're fixing to do a radio show with Jan Aldrich. A Mad Painter's here, and I've got Jan on the phone, but Jan, let me call you back online. I'll call you right back. Okay, a Mad Painter, you want to introduce yourself to everybody while I try to call him, or will it make the sound? Are you here?
It'll probably make the sound. It'll probably make the sound, but that's all right. Go ahead. This is a Mad Painter.
Uh-huh.
I'm a radio host, producer, artist, author, pretty strange all-around guy. And I think you're going to enjoy the show tonight. Jan Aldrich brings some great information about UFOs and what we can expect. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about this evening, but I'm sure we'll make it interesting.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm trying to reach him now. Folks, I had him on the phone, but I had to call him in the studio, and I had to wait for it to open up. It's technical stuff, right? But this is TJ Morris. Thank you for listening, and we are the ACO Club here at TJ Morris CT Radio, and that is Thomas R. Becker. So we're going to see if we can get Jan Aldrich on here. And thank you, Hyro. Apparently is listening. I don't know how, but thank you. He's on my phone right now. Let's see if this gets him.
Okay.
Jan.
Hi, this is Jam.
Hi. Yeah, we'll have to get you to speak up a little bit because you are now live on the air. Jan, a Mad Painter, which is Thomas R. Becker, and me, Theresa J. Morris, is here for the UFO Association tonight. So tell us what all you've been doing, because I wasn't able to get Barry, not having his phone number, and he's not on Facebook. But is it just going to be you tonight?
I guess so. Yeah. Okay.
What you got planned for us?
What happened was I was supposed to go. I had a trip planned to the National Archives in Washington.
Yeah.
But at the last minute, it turned out that we got a chance to go to Chicago and digitize some of the files at CUFOS.
All right. Now tell people what CUFOS is, because you're an old-timer.
It's an organization that Dr. J. Allen Hynek started. Hynek was for almost 20 years, was the main scientific advisor to the Project Blue Book.
Okay.
And a few years after Project Blue Book closed, he started the Center for UFO Studies.
Okay. In Chicago, right?
In Chicago. And the FBI kind of helped him out. Shortly after, yes, of course. Well, when the Air Force decided to quit, that they were going to stop taking UFO reports from the public, they didn't say they were going to stop taking UFO reports. They were going to only stop taking UFO reports from the public.
Ah.
So
Okay.
after that, one of the things that the Air Force didn't make any kind of allowance for is where do the UFO reports go now?
Yeah.
So the Air Force said, well, maybe the local and state police will have take over that. Now, the Air Force didn't consult with the police if they wanted to do that or anything. They just, well, we're just getting out of the business, and too bad. The cops should do it.
All right.
So after that happened, the FBI sort of got involved by saying, look, this is putting a new responsibility on the police, where before the Air Force had, if anybody tried to get in the way of the Air Force, they'd come and kick them out of the way.
Okay.
They would say, this is our responsibility. Nobody get involved here. And they even had some clashes with the Navy over that.
Ah.
So the FBI went ahead and thought that the police should have some help here. So they got with Hynek, and they had training for their people and some police officers, and a hotline was set up for the police where they could call. If they got a UFO report, they could call CUFOS.
Oh, okay, that works.
And send it to them, and that worked for many years. Until
Just in the U.S., though, right? Not globally.
Not globally, no.
All right, just for
of course,
the United States.
Yeah, that didn't stop people from calling in, but yeah, it was for the U.S. and it was mostly for the police. They had other methods for people to get in touch with CUFOS otherwise.
Was it just understood back? That would be right after Blue Book. Would that be what year was that? Because I think it was about 1974. The FBI put out a bulletin, and they helped to a certain extent. I mean, it wasn't a great amount of help, but they helped to a certain extent to implement the policy by informing local law enforcement that this was available to them. If they had UFO reports, they could. Yeah, they could call CUFOS. Okay, so the UFO business after Project Blue Book was J.L. and Hynek's responsibility somehow. We don't. Do we really know why he started CUFOS, other than they weren't going to keep the civilian?
Well, there was no official body anymore. I have some thoughts about why he got involved in this, but there's nothing I can prove.
And we've got the UFO files with FBI. Those are open pretty much. Federal Bureau of Investigation has their own files, so you can look up UFO files under.
Yeah.
Now,
if you go to my site, you can find a FBI file on Hynek and why, to a certain extent, it's very favorable, towards him. He's talk about him being a patriot and everything.
let's tell everybody the name of your site right now. So we're establishing a timeline based on Jan Aldrich, ufologist, folks. He's prior Army, and he's pretty much retired there as high as you can go as Master Sergeant listed. And then he became a post office employee. I guess you were on the boots on the ground postman, but we can get into a little bit that because I want to get into your UFO history and how you got into all this. But right now it's pretty cool because you started off talking about Blue Book, which a lot of people may know about or have seen recently on History Channel or other channels. And you lived all through that, as did I, and I'm sure Ahmad Painter did because Ahmad was Navy and I was Navy. But back in the 70s, I just had my daughter, my fourth child, in Houston. So let's talk about 74, J. Allen Hynek, and what all we suspect was the history before J. Allen Hynek and that which goes forward after CUFOS becomes a archiving. It was a nonprofit, wasn't it? Do you know the history?
Yeah, it's a nonprofit. It still exists. It's not gone. It's just they don't put out a magazine anymore. They still exist. They still do work. So
they're still archiving. Where do they archive?
Right. They well, a lot of material comes into their hands. They don't really have a active investigation anymore, but a lot of material still comes into their hands.
Well, I met J. Allen Hynek, and he asked me to get involved. So this is interesting that he's gone. I'm here, and I'm talking to you. I find that very intriguing. CUFOS 74.
Yeah, so they were very active from 1970 until I don't know what's going on here.
I don't either.
I don't know what's going on here, but apparently we were lost there for a minute.
Now you're on twice. I have no clue what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Very interesting. Ahmad Painter, are you still here?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
okay.
I don't know why you have listed, but you're listed twice now.
It sounded like somebody was trying to call him.
It does.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Okay. Well, now you have two phones listed on here. I don't know which one to cut off, but they both say your phone number. Okay. Well, keep going. So this is the history of the UFO. From Project.
Right.
Okay.
Hynek does Project Blue Book folds. He goes and talks to the head of Foreign Technologies Division at Wright Field.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base?
At Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, he went and talked to the head of the Foreign Technology Division, they had been at one time responsible for Project Blue Book. However, they lost that they lost their responsibility to the Air Force Research and Development.
Why? And R&D.
Why?
They didn't want to do
the Air Force, the Research and Development, Air Force Research and Development took over Project Blue Book from Foreign Technologies Division, and they were the ones that Research and Development was the ones that more or less initiated the idea that after the Condon report, Blue Book should be closed.
All right. Now explain a little about the Condon report, if you don't mind.